Happy Friday, everybody. I think it's a good day. Bobby and I talk usually a couple minutes before the show, and usually Bobby's like, God damn it. And he's throwing something today. He goes, Hi, Pat. I was like, Well, hi, Bobby. And he's
Yeah,
like,
man.
Yeah, just he used a nice phrase like chink in the armor, and he wasn't even being racist. I think this might be a good Friday, or the apocalypse is happening. But how's your day?
I'm doing well, man. I'm hoping it's a good Friday, kind of like Jesus had,
Yeah. He had
where I end up
I heard
crucified.
he had like 32 really good Fridays and then one Good Friday.
Yeah, he had like okay Fridays, and then they were like, Jesus. Normally, when we see you, you're cussing, you're all angry, but today you're in a good mood. What's up, buddy? He's like, it's all gonna end soon, all the pain.
Who do you think? Who do you think woke? I don't want to get too much into it, but who do you think woke up with a tougher morning? Somebody you kept saying the Timberwolves are going to come back and get to the finals, and then has to eat crow, or the guy who's like, "There's no way Trump gets convicted of even one of these charges." Who do you think had it
Ooh.
tougher? Because I think the Timberwolves fan could be like, listen, I believe my team, I'm a fan, whatever. So can the Trump fan. They can both be that way. But at least they can say to the Timberwolves fan, there's always next year. You got a good young product. Like, unfortunately,
Yeah, I the only counterpoint though is it's almost like the court conviction put Trump down 3-1. Like he hasn't been officially swept yet, and I feel like a lot of his fans are now just jumping on the he's gonna rally get bandwagon.
yeah. When they do the sentencing, I'm happy that I think you should leave the city. Also, and I think I'm happy I live in Connecticut where people, I mean, they're passionate, but they're not gonna. We're not gonna have a new January 6th
I'm
here.
hoping
But
it occurs the last weekend of June.
oh, so it ruins our show.
No, so we can so I
Oh,
can have an excuse to not be here for a fucking
oh, I
weekend.
was like, I was like, this will be the second time, the second year in a row that my official gig at this venue, quote unquote, would be ruined by something. But it would be
The venue was just like, no oats here ever.
no. Um, Good morning, Kish. Good morning, V. And yeah, V. Yes, a lot of people feel like rigged, but politics is always rigged. I'd be too ignorant to get into the conversation of it, but to say that if any other country, if we're watching something in South America on the news, and they said a guy who is the president is trying to arrest a guy who's going to be running for president, we would be like, we need to get in there and stop it. It's pretty wild what's being allowed to be done. Now, I'm not defending Trump either because it's not like we don't think he didn't pay all those people hush money, but it's not like money doesn't get passed back and forth in politics all the time. I think they should treat politics like they treat Major League Baseball. I mean, no, they should treat Major League Baseball. Like they should have let Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, all of them just do steroids. They should have because it was the greatest thing for baseball. And then when finally they got called out, they said, no, we're not going to count your stats anymore. Just let them do steroids. Who gives a shit? It's their body. It's their choice. They're not, as long as they're not hurting other people and they want to hurt themselves for money and fame, that's fine. If these guys want to rig stuff and do that, they should be allowed to openly do that because then we'll get more young, like people that would probably be on the streets, like gangsters and hood thug guys, going into politics because now they can run their shit. Mob bosses would go into politics. It would actually be run better, and there'd be like more respect, I believe, once you put real criminals, quote unquote, in there allowed to do moves.
I I don't want to disillusion you here, Pat, but I feel like the government is made up of real criminals.
No, but I mean, actually, I
Like,
mean, Suge and stuff.
no. Shug would be, but like, certainly in Chicago, a lot of mob in the government and things like that. But arguably, that was a safer time. You know what I mean? Because
Now,
like you knew, in
yes.
addition to not listening to the police, you were also getting beat up by the mob if you broke the rules.
Yeah.
So there is something to be said.
Now, V's asking if we watched the Civil War movie. I did. I went to the theater and actually saw it, and it wasn't. V, I'm guessing you saying that you saw it too. To me, that movie was not about the Civil War. It was just like, hey, how if we have four unlikable characters who are like war photographers. Imagine you got to watch them take pictures here and not care about who's the good guy or bad guy because they don't really set the tone for it. And you just kind of watch people do their job up close. There's good photography, but it wasn't really a civil war. It was just like whatever. No, Kish, politicians aren't all honest. But that's just me and Bobby. We're really honest. That's what we do.
Fucking Cuba Gooding Jr. crying the whole time. Or was it Denzel? I forget. Glory. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay, well, I know that Denzel was in it. And I think Cuba was in it. But I think the one that crying was everyone that was like, why did they put Matthew Broderick in this? Why is Matthew Broderick in Glory? This was a great movie with a fucking Ferris Bueller running around with a fake mustache on. Fucking brutal.
I know. The whole movie I kept going, just give that man a car and a bottle of whiskey. This war will be over in 15 minutes.
Yeah, all the black people are on one side. We're fighting with some whites. All the whites on the other side very upset. And he walks out and goes, Dankeschön, darling, Dankeschön. They're like the Germans, and they kill him. Why are they back?
No, both sides, just no Germans. Did you hear what Mad Dog said about the steroid guys this morning of Mike and the Mad Dog fame?
I did not hear what he said this morning.
So he actually, it's funny you brought it up, both steroids and the movie Glory, because I don't know if you heard this, Pat, they're now putting in all the Negro Leagues statistics into the MLB official thing.
And I'm actually a baseball fan who's happy for that.
I am too. What I'm not happy about is that Mad Dog said that because they're allowing that, they should also allow all the steroids people in. It's the same level of superiority.
No, I'm
not going to get Mad Dog. I'm not going to
disagree with him. No, and me too. I'm not going to disagree with him. Well, I think if you're going to open up the stats to other things that weren't what they said the stats were, then that's fine. The Negro Leagues, yes, in reality should have never happened, but they did, and they did not play against each other. Like that'd be like one day saying, well, EuroLeague basketball stats should count, and if you're the leading scorer all time in Euro basketball, you should not be the NBA scorer. It's a different league. It just was. And I know Jay Otosh does the joke, and I know a lot of people say, well, if they were playing each other, it wouldn't have been this or that. Well, you can't say that matter of factly. You can't, because yes, there were some good. Josh Gibson has amazing numbers, but he was playing against people who didn't get the training even back then when there wasn't a ton, or the amount of games played than other people did. So he was playing with bad pitching too. They both were going against lesser pitching that would have been together. But do I think it's awesome that Ty Cobb in his grave in hell is spinning around going, I'm second now in all-time batting average? Because he was first all-time in batting average until this happened, and then a black guy took over all of a sudden, and his stats gone. So yeah,
like
take that.
Ty Cobb used a specific word that had a hard R, that hit hard R than any of his cleats up slides. He was famous.
I know. I heard him. He said, "Ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Rigged.
Rats.
This is rigged."
You know, rigged it that.
Close, Ty. This close.
Yeah. You know why they call me Ty? Because I used to tie a rope around all those guys when I had a bad game. No, I think Barry Bonds should have be in the Hall of Fame. I think Barry Bonds' number should count. Listen, you and I can do steroids all we want. We're not going to hit home runs. I know they were taking enhancement things, but they were already super gifted. There were other guys who did that and couldn't do it. They put it this way. They were taking things that could hurt their body in the long run. They were doing things that have side effects, and they were still hitting 100-mile-per-hour fastballs 500 feet. You know what I mean? That's like, hey, drive your car on cocaine. Yeah, you're awake, but maybe you shouldn't drive your car on cocaine. But what if you drove your car on cocaine and then won the Indianapolis 500? I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, you're like, oh, he was on drugs, he shouldn't win. I'm like, really? Because he handicapped himself like a golfer. He did a great job.
Baseball is the one sport left where cheating is encouraged. Like, if you can get any kind of advantage, you should. I don't know about you, Pat, but like when I was playing football, I cut the foam out of my shoulder pads so I could be faster. Like I would take. I
did not cut the foam out of your shoulder pads.
You didn't? Then who did? Well, it was the bald, angry guy yelling.
No, out of yours, I said.
No, I know. Who was the bald, angry guy yelling when I was cutting all that foam out of my shoulder pads?
Oh, that was my mom.
I thought she was dead.
Yes, only on TV. Yeah, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame too. That's so stupid. Who gives a fuck? We bet on the game. They still have to win or lose the games. You know what I mean? Like, who?
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't give. I want a guy that bets on himself every day. Like, that's the motivational speaker talking. You gotta wake up every morning and bet on yourself. Pete Rose is like, all right. And he did, and they're like, you don't go to the Hall of Fame. He's like, I was just reading memes, bro.
Yeah. Why is Manny
All I
Pacquiao
was
allowed
doing-
to quadruple every fight purse he makes by betting the fight purse on himself? But Pete Rose couldn't do that.
And baseball needs this. Baseball. What I hope happens now is though, because like the whole rise, people are getting like, oh, all these white people are upset. Well, there are baseball historians who just like the fact that it's history. It's what it is. It's like if you're gonna say name all the presidents, then you start naming the guy from like Panama. I'm like, wait a minute. No, I mean our presidents. I said, oh, I thought we were just gonna include all the presidents always now. So there's a bazillion presidents. You know what I mean? Like you're still throwing those
Yeah.
stats in. So if they do the Japanese league and then all of a sudden Matsui and Sadara O and people like that, their numbers count too. I mean, why not? Why not? Why they weren't playing over? I know you're saying they're saying on the Negro leagues because they weren't allowed to play, but then they were allowed to play and they were in the league. So it's not like they never got to play in the league. Just it was later on, and it wasn't always the best players and stuff like that. I get it, but like Josh Gibson may have hit 12 home runs. Listen, Home Run Baker, who was named that because he hit 6 home runs one time before like Babe Ruth and people, and he was Home Run Baker. And his stats are like the guy barely hit. He never hit 10 home runs ever. It's hilarious because back then no one really hit the ball out of the yard, and the places were so big and stuff like that. Anyway, they didn't have that kind of power. He's still, in the Hall of Fame as Home Run Baker. It's like he has the same stats as a backup catcher now. It's like it's not maybe Home Run Baker in the Negro leagues would have hit 30 home runs. Who fucking knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Smaller stadiums. You know what I mean? It doesn't
Absolutely.
matter. Who gives a shit? No one cares what happens in baseball anyway. The Astros were cheating the same way the Patriots were. People still talk about all the gates and the videotapes and the deflated balls and all those things. Sometimes someone will go, wait, who was it? The Astros that cheated? Didn't they still win? Yeah, okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's baseball.
That's kind of my thing. Like baseball is the one sport where they're like, oh, that's actually kind of cool how they were cheating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
In the
You know,
NBA, they're
all
like
the sticky stuff.
Yeah, in the NBA, they're like all the referees are like they're cheating and they have a whole documentary and they arrest people and do all this stuff. In baseball, they're like, this one umpire's kind of mean and we don't like how he calls strike. Let's just throw him out of the league. And everyone's like, we don't care. Fine.
This guy sued us so he could continue to be a major league umpire, but he's the worst umpire and human being I've ever met. I'd let Hitler umpire a major league game before him, but he sued us, so here we are. And then that guy retires, and they put out a montage of all of his worst calls. Fuck you, Angel Hernandez.
Yeah, but then also, I think it's funny that the Major League Baseball is like, he's this and that, whatever. You hired him. He only got to play. He only got to be an ump in Major League Baseball for that many years because you guys hired him. He didn't show up and like, my dad told me I can have this job and I have to have the job. You hired the worst guy ever. So like, shut up. You did a bad job. You have to vet them. NFL refs, umpires, all that stuff. There is a background check like nobody's fucking business. Like the military does all this background check than you do for that stuff because the amount of money that's involved in things. That's why usually when NFL, if you look up who NFL referees are and you see what their jobs are, before that, there was a senator, there's lawyers, there's people that have had to be like vetted and be public eye and all that stuff, or like people that had to like go through a ton of shit, like military people, because they're dealing with billions of dollars. And in baseball, kind of the same thing. So yeah, the guy makes bad calls. So what? I mean, that happens. Coaches in baseball make bad calls. Let's bring in the lefty against the lefty. That'll work. And there's a home run. It's like, do we fire him, then put up his worst pitches in a highlight film? No, he just gets to pitch again the next day because who gives a shit? It's fucking baseball. Grow up. So, but good morning, everybody. So, we need to talk more about heroes. Bobby, can I start off the show with a hero?
Sure, man.
I mean, to be fair, I want to say quickly, I only read the beginning part of this article. So if this ends up later that he's the worst person ever, I retract my statement of hero. But
that's new hero, everybody.
Well, he might be after the headline for you. 81-year-old serial slingshot shooter found dead days after he arrested for terrorizing neighborhood for a decade.
All right, I'm on board so far with this young man.
An elderly California man accused of terrorizing his neighbors with a slingshot for nearly a decade died Wednesday, just days after he was arrested and appeared in court. Prince Raymond King, 81, was found dead inside a home in Azusa, California, around 7:30. The owner of the home King was found in is still unknown. Azusa Police Sergeant Nick, whatever, I can't say it, told the outlet there was no evidence of foul play. Now, by the way, I know when I said the name, you probably thought one thing. I'll send you a picture. It's not what you think. Because
he's not Tayshaun Prince.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, or like Nigerian Prince or something like that. Or even the singer Prince. None of those. He's not those things at all. But yeah, after he's 81 years old and he was terrorizing people for a decade. He's doing more 81 than like Biden. That's fun. King died of arteriocleric cardiovascular disease, which damages the arteries that carry oxygen away from the heart, and it was ruled to be natural, according to the local medical examiner's office. The gray-haired menace slowly walked into the gray-haired menace. Shut up. Oh, Dennis the Menace, maybe because he had a slingshot. Slowly walked into West Covina Superior Court for his arraignment on Tuesday, where he had pleaded not guilty. King, who wears glasses, was accused of using his slingshot to careen metal ball bearings at his neighbors' homes and vehicles for the past 9 years.
Okay.
He was charged with 5 counts of felony vandalism and 2 counts of misdemeanor vandalism for allegedly targeting his neighbor's property with a slingshot, breaking numerous house windows and car windshields with a small hand-powered projectile weapon. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office charged King with vandalism from incidents from October 2021 to May 2024, according to the LA News. However, neighbors allege King's slingshot attacks have occurred since 2015. Police determined the ball bearings were coming from him in their investigation and arrest the reckless neighbor on May 23rd. And they show bags and bags of metal ball bearings that he just had, that he was just fucking firing at people.
I like to think he was one of those guys who was afraid of the world ending, but he also hated guns. So he was like, we just got to buy more ball bearings.
Yeah. Well, he probably thought like bullets have like serial numbers. Ball bearings don't.
They don't?
During his
Somebody
arrest,
tell me they
police... don't. Yeah, I heard last time I was doing a BLM rally that they don't. During his arrest, police found the slingshot and 10 to 40 ball bearings in his possession. The slingshot vandal was released from custody following his hearing Tuesday, when his attorneys argued he suffered from a number of illnesses, and however, he was ordered not to stay in his home about 25 miles outside Los Angeles, though he was allowed to return to pick up his medication. And then they just showed the slingshot. It's a regular old school fucking slingshot, like no fancy shit, not one of those fandangled ones with the crazy like pullback or anything. He was just fucking launching. King was also told to stay at least 200 yards away from homes he allegedly targeted, not to have contact with any of the victims, and was ordered not to possess any deadly weapons, including his signature slingshot. Was he Zorro? We've been here since 2018. It's been ongoing all that time, one of his neighbors said, and victim, James Mead. To me, it seems like a really good neighborhood, except for windows being broken. He was due back in court June 17th for his preliminary hearing, but he can't go now because he's dead. Who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it Prince? Listen, they didn't say what was happening, but something was happening. Something was pissing this man off in his neighborhood. Now, everybody loved Gran Torino. Everybody thought it was a tremendous movie. Why? Because there's a lovable Clint Eastwood being all crotchety, sitting there saying, get off my lawn and all that shit. But at the end, he learned, his heart got bigger, and he killed a fucking ton of people. So many fucking people. So is it this guy for just doing his best impersonation of Clint Eastwood? They're both in their 80s. He's just trying to be a Los Angeles guy, trying to get along with the neighborhood. Maybe he thought he was going to get his redemption arc. And he's like, where's the Asian kid who's supposed to be my friend? Where the fuck is he? Yeah, I'm waiting for that guy to come. I watched that movie. What the fuck? Is it the courts for telling this guy, you can't go back home? He's 81. your cops. Have one guy just hang out, be in the neighborhood. If that was a younger person and they were firing something at people's windows, you'd have cops out there, whatever. But they probably let him stay in his house. He's 81. Where's he supposed to fucking go? He's got medical conditions, or I don't know, just take his slingshot away. He's 81. Where's he gonna get another one? And if he orders one on Amazon, you can see it. He's ordered a fucking slingshot. Is he gonna get a slingshot dealer? Not in that neighborhood. They're all tired of his ass. All he had to do was take his slingshot away. Maybe them taking his one thing away is what killed him. Maybe that was his release. And some people take walks, some people meditate, some people play in a league of darts or something like that. This guy likes to take ball bearings in the slingshot, fire at his neighbor's windows, and fuck up their day if he feels like he's been wrong. What's the big deal? Because it is neighbors. He's 81 years old. You can't kick his ass. What the fuck? Oh, he's been 8 years terrorizing us. Okay, I get it. He's got ball bearings, but he's 81. I'm sure he takes naps. Learn a rhythm, learn a routine, show up, beat the shit out of the guy. You go cut the fucking shit. What the goddamn hell is wrong with you? Or is it the LAPD? For this is the king they should have beat up. You know what I mean? They had one king they beat the shit out of, and they probably shouldn't have done that. They should have got this. This is your reparations. They should have gone here and go, "This is for you guys," and boom, beat this guy up. Who's the piece of shit in the story, Bobby?
For me, the piece of shit is James Mead, the neighbor who was interviewed by the newspaper. He's the piece of shit, first and foremost. The dude's dead. Move the fuck on. Yeah, he broke a couple of windows. Yeah, but that's my point. Like, why are you?
But he did avoid it. He should have got arrested. They're probably pissed that he was able to get out of it.
Yeah, but like the guy's dead. It's almost like when you go and you're like, hey, that little girl over there beat me up. You're just snitching on yourself. Like,
and now she's dead.
You don't even I rent. If somebody was shooting slingshots through a window, it would happen once. Because we'd go take that slingshot and solve the problem. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't.
Depends who's slinging that shot.
An 81-year-old Prince.
Yeah, then I'm fucking him up. But if it's a guy in my neighborhood named Prince, he's Nigerian, and I might win money from him someday.
But the real reason I think James is the piece of shit, Pat, and I love that Nigerians win you money, is because it's clearly he did something to his stepson, who also lives in that house. And the stepson's the one who was shooting out his windows every day. And then right when the net was getting tightened, he went and hid all of his stuff at his neighbor, the Prince's house.
Yeah. I think the piece of shit is whoever started this. Something happened. Something did. You don't just, because he might, they said it's been like 10 since 2015. So about 9 years of just this. And so I can't imagine that one day he just decided at, 73 years old, I'm just going to start getting a slingshot and launching shit. Something happened where this guy felt like he needed to do it. And then I think after a while, when you're old and you finally feel like life isn't beating you down, I'm in my 70s, I'm alone, I got heart problems, this and that, nothing ever goes my way. He just probably figured he was going to get arrested or in trouble, and I'll live my last days in prison. Who cares? I don't want to pay rent anymore. Life sucks. My name's Prince. I'm a fucking old ass white guy. I sent you a picture of him. You saw him. He's fucking ridiculous looking. And so when he started not getting caught, it was just like, what the fuck? Why is nothing happening? Like, I know people I'm saying I'm terrorizing them, but why am I not in trouble? Why am I I'm finally getting away with something? Well, this will end soon. And he just kept fucking doing it and doing it because he needed some kind of closure, because whatever started it didn't do the closure. And he's an old white man. Old white men at the end of their lives need closure. He wanted someone to be able to come up to him, and I bet you in court he was going to say what it was. What was the reasoning? And it was going to be something nuts or racist or crazy, but we never get to learn that. So whoever started this needs to come out and be like, yeah, I slept with that guy's wife, and he thought we lived over here now, and he's shooting, or whatever the fuck happened. And the piece of shit is the person that started this and is not now spilling the beans.
Potentially also murdered the old guy to keep him from spilling the beans in court, too.
God murdered this guy. he lives to 81 with heart condition. Dude, I have heart condition. I will love to live to 81 and have the last 10 years energy to fire at people with a fucking slingshot and ball bearings. That's osteoporosis arm. That's a lot. That's joint pain. That's
a lot of
shit going
overcoming.
on.
But historically speaking, God tends to favor those using a slingshot. Yeah.
I mean, God used it one time, right? I mean, in his book.
David. Yeah, and nobody ever shuts the fuck up about it. They don't talk about the part that David fell in love with some dude's wife, so he sent that guy to the front lines to die so he could bang Bathsheba, and then God killed his first son. They focus on the slingshot part, and I hope we do the same with this Prince fella. He hit all those Palestinians. They don't
focus on the part, by the way, real quick. They don't, since we're on this, they don't focus on the part where everyone just called this guy Goliath. That wasn't his name. That just means giant monster. They all just called this. It was David, his full given Christian name, versus Goliath. That'd be like, if I was like Bobby versus Mammoth. And you're like, guys, like, my name's not Mammoth, but look at you. You're fucking huge. And guess what? Now I get to hurt you with this slingshot. Why? Because I was born bigger? Because my genetics were good? Why am I being ostracized in this way? Yeah, the Bible's mean.
Well, I mean, when you put it like that, go David. Hit that genetically gifted fag right between his eyes. And you know what, Pat? In your Mammoth situation, you better pray for fucking Mammoth.
Mammoth is gay. It's not Obama, Terry Nee. Good morning.
There was a potential for that in an earlier story we talked about, Terry.
By the way, if that was Obama, that was the drones thinking for Obamacare. Like, he's like, that's it. It's like, with Obamacare drones, we have an old man just going bing, bing, bing.
Like, I like that.
What you got?
I got an update.
Okay.
You've been kind of coincidentally, you've mentioned Nigerian princes several times today.
Well, you never got an email from a Nigerian prince?
Oh no, I did, but they're also involved in this story, which is why I thought it was kind of fascinating. Which is, remember last week when we talked about Graceland and when it was being stolen, but the daughter said this company never existed?
Well, I saw that this article was out there. I was hoping you'd grab it because I didn't want to grab off your thing. So yeah.
Yeah, Fox News, according to them, an identity thief has claimed to be identity thief claims to be behind Graceland foreclosure attempt. An identity thief has purportedly come forward and claimed responsibility for the audacious scheme to gain control of Elvis Presley's Graceland mansion and sell it at auction, according to the New York Times. The publication reported that a person it has been corresponding with via email admitted to being the ringleader of the plot. The plot reportedly involved a crew of other fraudsters and ultimately failed in court last week, but is still shrouded in mystery. According to the Times, the purported fraudster who claims to be from Nigeria described he described the foreclosure attempt as a scam and not a legitimate attempt to collect a debt. The ringleader told the outlet news his crew preys on the dead, the unsuspecting, and the elderly, especially those from Florida and California. They used fake birth certificates and other documents to discover personal information to aid in their illicit schemes to steal property. Quote, "We figured out how to steal," end quote. "That's what we do." According to the Times, the email address it was corresponding with matches an email address used in the court documents. Elvis's granddaughter, Riley Coe, the sole heir of the property, claimed the loan agreement that they were trying to use to get the property was a scam and asked for a court injunction Wednesday to stop the sale. According to the Times, the email writer admitted the group turned its attention to Graceland as far back as September, 8 months after Lisa Marie Presley's death. Nosany Investments filed papers in California probate court posting what it said was Lisa Marie's 2018 debt. The filing included a deed of trust, yada, yada, yada. But Coe did not believe her mother took out the loan, successfully challenging it in court Wednesday. Who's the piece of shit in this story, Pat? Is it the Presleys? Haven't you taken enough from black people? This could be reparations. Just give it back.
I just want to hear what you follow up with other pieces of shit after that.
Yeah. Is it the Nigerian prince for trying to steal Graceland. I would say by far the worst, most heinous crime ever committed involving Graceland was definitely them trying to steal it and not what Elvis was doing with his 16-year-old wife. Is it California? Like,
They know how to party.
they do know how to party, but they also have become this prime target for the Nigerian stealing. Like, they literally like, yeah, California doesn't do much research. We go there all the time. Pat, I guess we could just say, is it the city of Memphis? They've annexed every other fucking property around there. The pyramids become a Bass Pro Shop. Just buy the fucking thing and move on with your lives. Pat, we'll kick it to you first.
It's not the Presleys. It should be the Presleys, but it's not the Presleys. You do what you know. You know what I mean? Like you can't. A catfish can't ride a horse. I think that's probably a saying somewhere.
Elvis probably
he might
sang
want to, but he can't. You know what I mean? But like, so for them to do that is fine. It's not a Nigerian prince for wanting what is thought of as like a southern castle. That's what it is. He's a Nigerian prince. That's what he wants. And the worst thing that ever happened to Graceland was Paul Simon singing that fucking song Graceland with all the African guys that he stole that time when he had that Diamonds in the Solar Shoes album, that Graceland thing. That's way worse. So that's not bad at all. Once again, you just named the first two people you named were just people doing what they do. Like, is a bird not supposed to fly? Is a Nigerian not supposed to scam? Is a Presley not supposed to fucking steal from blacks? Like, they're doing what they do. The same thing with Memphis. Is Memphis not supposed to fucking run things to the ground and ruin it? They've done that with everything. Like, I watched this YouTube channel. I forget the fucking guy's name. But he's all over Tennessee, mostly Memphis, but he goes around and in 24 hours he eats at the sketchiest restaurants to see if he's going to die or not from people trying to kill him there. And there's so many episodes. And because there's so many bad neighborhoods, because Memphis is just to shit. So what it is it's anyone who isn't already treating Graceland like if it was in LA or in California. There should be so many squatters in Graceland. There should be so many people just living there in a shanty town, like a New San Francisco, like a Jonestown. Like, there should just be, if I was a cult leader, I would have just walked right in and said, this is my castle now. And then they probably would have just let him have it and could have taken over from all of this. And the guy could have just said, well, I have been reincarnated. I was Elvis. This is my place. And they're like, oh shit, we didn't realize you were Elvis. And then even the Nigerian prince, he'd be like, dude, tell people I'm Elvis. And I'll cut you in on 20% of like the money we charge to these crazy cult people. And you could fuck like one of the fatter ones if you want. We know you like that shit. He's like, all right, cool. So the piece of shit is somebody else, a better scam person for not coming in and taking advantage of this because so many people are trying to get over. Someone else should have come in and just taken this.
And that's who my piece of shit is, Ja Morant. You're
Oh,
the king of Memphis. Buy Graceland. Live there.
For those who don't know, NBA player and gunslinging superstar.
Build a gun range in the backyard is what I was about to say. No, for me, my actual piece of shit, Pat, is Memphis. The city of Memphis. All they do is take from black people. Barbecue. You're telling me that's good for diabetes? All that sugar and barbecue sauce? No. Elvis, they made the king stealing from black people. Oh, and then you had civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. there. What did you do to him? You put him on a balcony so he could get shot. Memphis itself hates black people. I mean, Memphis is known for his barbecue as well.
They're known for barbecue, but they didn't take it. They left it there.
They promoted it. The barbecue was the original crack in the hood. It was like, how do we get rid
that's how they got Martin Luther King to get there so they could shoot him. That was the bait. But like...
No, the bait was actually somebody wrote him an email and said, I'm a Nigerian prince. I'm buying Graceland. I need your help. That's why they got him.
Well, I guess all the bait had to be was someone to say, hey, I'm not your wife and I'll fuck you. And he's like, oh, yeah, it must be Tuesday.
Hope J. Edgar isn't spying on me.
J. Edgar, dude, that basically was his, like, what you call it, his binge watching. It's like, yo, season 2 of Martin Luther King's on. Let me put on my dress and watch this.
What was his tall assistant's name?
Slender Man?
No, he lived in a bed with him for a while.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember his name.
He was like, "Hey, Cameron, stop pounding my ass for a second. It's time to watch this week's episode of Martin Luther King cheats on his wife."
Yeah, I can't put on my fuck dress right now. I've got to watch the Good Doctor. Fuck people. Rest in peace, King. Fuck. You want mean lady, or mean lady?
Let's go, mean lady.
Nice. Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
3.
Okay, sweet. Democrat California Senator blast party, which is not nice, right? But it's what she was mad about is okay.
With a slingshot?
Over pedophile jail sentence fight. Quote, I'm done with this. I don't know if you've heard about this, dude, but this is fucking crazy. You know how California has really leaned into the whole, we don't really need to arrest people. We need to understand them shit. Well, it's getting a little too ridiculous. A California state senator fighting to throw pedophiles into prison for longer has blasted progressive members of her own party for trying to water down the new law, declaring, I'm done with this. Democratic Senator Susan Eggman, who reps part of San Joaquin County, just outside San Francisco, gave this fiery speech on the Senate floor last Thursday when lawmakers were weighing legislation that would make it a felony to purchase or solicit a minor for commercial sex in Golden State. It's a felony to
What the
pay
fuck is
to fuck
commercial child porn?
Yeah.
What?
No, I'm child porn, but commercial prostitution as well of a child.
This should be a felony. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they want it to be
Kinda
more. They
with
want it to
this
be more. I'd like to say, as a progressive, proud member of this body for the last 12 years, I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done. And then they put her age, like she's 63, like she doesn't get it. I think she gets it. I don't want to send more black and brown people to prison. I don't want more people in prison, period. But I don't want people buying girls. I don't want people buying little girls anymore. I'm tired of saying it's okay. Then we have to protect the men who do it. Under California law, buying or soliciting sex from a child is a misdemeanor that carries a penalty of between 2 days and a year in jail and a $10,000 fine. Dude, we need to get rid of California. We need to see. California's done. They can't be a state with us anymore. That's bonkers. A guy could fucking fuck a kid and then get a day in jail.
Yeah. Also, like, I'm a big fan of restorative justice. So what if we took the dude with the slingshot and just sent him to California? Like, problem solved. Go get the pedos.
My wife. I'm sorry, Terry.
That's what he was saying. That you
right.
offered 3
bad
mean ladies.
person, bad lady, or bad lady. Yeah, I know. I got it. I missed putting it up there. I felt bad. Bill 1414, which was authorized by GOP State Senator Shannon Grove and supported by Eggman, aims to beef up that penalty to at least 2 to 4 years in prison, as well as a sex offender registration. Last month, some Democrats had watered down the bill to only allow the felony classification for the purchase of minors under the age of 16. The purchase of minor. I didn't know we could buy people anyway. we can still buy people.
Yeah, I don't think that's legal.
I am not arguing that we opened the gates to flood our prisons with people, but I am arguing that we have a moral responsibility to say enough, Eggman said last week as the issue returned to the Senate. We have given away enough of this area, and we've got to move back to the center, or we all look like fools and laughingstocks. A lot of these kids can be throwaway kids. They're poor kids. They're kids of color. But they shouldn't have to live a life determined by what happens to them by others at a very young age and have the Democratic Party of California saying, it's okay. I can't be mad at this lady. It's not okay. And I'm not doing it anymore. And I hope none of you do too. We have to be able to draw a line. The bill, for which Governor Gavin Newsom signaled support, passed 36-0 and is headed to the state assembly. Who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it Eggman for saying, I can't do this anymore? I'm not dealing with this fucking anymore. I gotta step out. Listen, I got no problem arresting brown and black people. That's not exactly what she said, but it was kind of weird when she threw that in. Whatever. She's like, I don't want to really arrest them anymore, but at the same time, whatever. Let's focus on the kids. Is it her? Yeah, I'm very. I mean, all jokes aside, yes, someone needs to speak up. This is fucking crazy. But just saying you're done, that's not solving the problem. Then you're getting out of their way. Now you're done. Okay, you're done. Now let's put someone else in there that will also fucking, support this goofball, stupid shit that they're doing. You need to say there, I'm not done. You guys need to be done. We need other people fucking removed. This is ridiculous. You need someone who's going to speak up and not say I'm leaving. That doesn't help. That's like, when a household's going bad and then like the father and mother are fighting all the time, the dad just goes, "You guys all suck. This is terrible. We're never gonna survive. I'm out." It's like, no. You gotta stop this from sucking. You can't just leave and say it sucks. You gotta fucking stay here and make sure it doesn't suck anymore. You gotta fix it. She's like, "Nah, I'm out. I'm gonna go to a state where you can't buy a kid." Okay, I think that's supposed to be all of them, to be fair. Is it the state of California? I just read what's in the article. I don't really know everything about laws and anything like that. I don't try to claim that in any way, but they kept saying purchase a person. Was slavery never abolished in California? Because there's old ones that always stayed there. Like in Connecticut, I guess anal's illegal. But it's like nobody would get arrested for it. But sodomy is illegal in Connecticut. It's they never just took that out of there. But
And Jenna Law better watch the fuck out.
Yeah, and everyone gay ever, and my uncle. Anyway, so it's like it's crazy if that's still a law there. Is it California for all that kind of shit? Is it anyone else who was like fought for that on the bill? Is it the 36-0, the 36 for all going, yeah. I mean, we're not saying it's legal, guys. We're just saying it's a felony and it's a slap on the wrist. A little child's wrist. It's not a big deal. Or is it these kids? In the words of Sam Kinison, move! Go where they can't fuck kids! Move! You're fucking wayward kids. You're not out there anyway. Go find that old man. That should have been your movie. They all go live with the old man. The old man's like, why are all these kids here? It's like, because it's only place safe. Because you have a slingshot and you keep people away from you. And all these people are trying to fuck us. And then that old man, like Michelle Pfeiffer in a movie where she's trying to save a rec center, now saves these kids' sweet, sweet asses with slingshots and takes everybody out. That's the movie I want.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I think, God, is there not a P? That does.
Yeah, Brian, or like maybe he's like the Terminator for pedophiles. Bill 1414. I must wreck all kids' ass.
I don't like that. I think the piece of shit, it's definitely not the woman. Because it worked. She gave her speech where basically she was like, if you don't vote for this bill, you're all pedophiles, and then won 36-0. Like, so as much as she exacerbated everybody, it worked. Like, it got the vote she wanted to make this a felony and not a misdemeanor anymore.
Oh, did I read that wrong?
Yeah, so the bill was to make it a felony.
No, but I think it passed the other way. That's why she was leaving.
No. So they were trying to change the wording to make it a misdemeanor still. And she was like, I'm fucking done with you guys if you do that.
I thought it said that they got voted 36-0. So that was thrown on there. She wanted to change. They were all watering it down, and they voted on the new bill to water it down.
I don't think that's true. I could be wrong, but if it didn't work,
then there's no story.
36 are the piece of shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the whole story about it, is that everyone else wanted. She's like, "Fuck this! I can't be part of the Democratic Party," because they're all pushing this bill. They had a bill where they wanted this, and they turned around, they watered it down, and they made it so it was just lesser. And then they all voted on it, and now it's moving to assembly. And that's why she's like, "Fuck this! I'm done." She wouldn't be done.
Okay. I thought it was like while they were still doing the bill, while they were still doing negotiations.
That's why she's done. She's like, I can't do this anymore. You guys just passed the fucking kid in the ass. All child's left behind and right behind and center behind.
Oh God. So yeah, I guess under 16 is no longer a felony. Yeah, it's California then. Fuck that whole state.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this wasn't a happy story. This is the worst thing ever.
I don't know, because there are other states with legal weed that haven't been enveloped in pedophilia either. So I
Well, they
just don't know.
might be in the Rocky Mountains. We just don't know. Nobody goes to the actual Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, you can't hear the kids scream.
Yeah. You can, but he just says Rocky Mountain High. Oh, that's my asshole. Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah. Who's your piece of shit, Pat?
Oh, I wonder who. You know what? It should be the people that pass the law, but you can't pass the law and you can't work on stuff unless someone's doing enough stuff to make you even talk about it. Hey, pedophiles, stop purchasing so many kids. Stop doing this so much when they're like, hey, we don't want to offend all these people. If it was like one guy, they'd be like, oh, whatever, fucking kill that guy. But they're like, nope. No, Terry, no. It's not always Obama. I see what you're doing. It's not.
I was hoping somebody from the crew would jump in and help him out with one of those letters.
No, everyone's like, but it's like all the people that are so many pedophiles are there because the laws work for them. That's insane. That's like when we mentioned weed before. Remember when Colorado was the one place where weed was legal, and some people moved there, and they were like, "I want to be here where it's at." Some people moved to Texas because they want better gun rights, or some people moved to Texas because they hate abortion. You know, people move to a state that caters what they like. A ton of people are moving to California. They're able to get all those podcasters' houses that went to Austin. So they're like, oh, good, we can live here now, and we don't even have to like buy a house. We can just squat in it, and then we can just fuck kids in it. And all we do is get, when we're about to get thrown out of this house, we can be in jail for a day, and then find a new place. They'll probably place us in. It's Gavin Newsom. I mean, he's the worst fucking governor of all fucking time and space. He's a piece of fucking garbage, and he's just awful. And it's this virtual thing. Like Gavin Newsom should work for Disney at this point for all the fucking. I'm just trying to appease the people that don't fucking matter. We're not gonna. We don't need the fucking vote or the fucking thought process of people who fuck kids. Stop protecting people who fuck kids. Don't fuck kids.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I can say on this podcast, and I'm sorry if someone out there's like, Pat, that's not the kind of views I like. Sorry, don't fuck kids. Don't fuck kids. Never fuck kids. Even when you're a kid, don't fuck kids. Does the song help?
A little bit. You know what would solve this whole problem?
A little bit.
I'm sure there's one person you swayed, but if they just
I'll put
made
this kid down right now. That song is like a tear coming down. Run off, Timmy. I mean, you can't run off. I just fucked the shit out of you.
you thank Pat Oates. You call and you thank Pat Oates. He saved you today.
And the guy's walking around with his headphones on. You fuck kids, don't fuck kids. It's fucking.
Oh thank God.
Even if you're kids, don't fuck kids.
They should just make state-sponsored prostitution over the age of 21 legal in California. Like you have to go in with your driver's license, and then you can legally be a prostitute. And then there's no gray area. Like if you're seeking a kid, you're seeking a kid. Otherwise, you just go to the local California. That's what they did with weed. Oh, you guys want tax money? Do the same thing with prostitution. It worked well for Las Vegas and Jim Jeffries.
Yeah, but not for kids. You know, it's not helping that's what kids. I know.
It would help kids because you're like, oh,
no, it would. I'm saying right now it's not.
I'm sure there's a young-looking 21-year-old I could go mess with. Like, yeah, it's gonna help kids in the long run.
Jesus. I hope there's a guy who wakes up every morning and he says that in the mirror.
That's better than fucking a kid, is it not?
Well, no, because I don't think that guy's checking IDs properly. You know what I mean? When you really want something, you find loopholes and buttholes.
But like, all right, so you're going to the sketchy neighborhood to fuck the kid, right, Pat?
No, I am not.
The sketchy house where the kid fucking occurs. And across the street, there's what used to be a La Quinta Inn in Suites, and now it's just called La Pussy Inn in Suites. And you go in, they check your ID. You're not allowed to pay with a credit card. You have to use debit. You're gonna go to the safe place where they like you could scroll through and see the medical tests and be like, oh no, she is clean.
Bobby, I think the piece of shit is you now because you just missed the opportunity to say your favorite word in a Spanish way. Change the name of that hotel again.
La Quinta. God damn.
Yes, and sweets.
Like Hunt the Sweets.
We
They
can't get rid of
change
it.
it to
But now the
SWE.
sweets is that's what they call children.
No, no, no,
Yep.
no.
You did it. That's you. That's your
No, it was
advertising.
adult prostitution.
Hi, I'm Kevin Spacey here from La Conta Inn and Suites. We have everything you need. Young boys, old boys, all kinds of boys.
Yeah, don't let the name confuse you. We've got boys
Who's
too.
here? Who's here begging the kids? All the usual suspects.
No kids, Pat. They're all 21. The state of California's checked their IDs.
More like House of Hards.
Ooh. Now that's pretty good.
None of this is good. What do you got?
Let me pull up my next story here.
'Cause I got more ladies yelling if you want. Lady
No.
yell. It's Female Friday. Friday.
So another follow-up story. This one's actually not a female, believe me or not, but this one involves Scotty Scheffler, who all charges were dropped
Yeah.
against.
The
But
golfer.
yeah, the golfer, number one golfer in the world, was arrested.
For people who don't know the story, yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you the quick summary. He did what he was told to do because there was an accident on the way to the PGA Tour tournament he was playing in. He followed the instruction from other cops. One cop told him to stop and then arrested him because he didn't stop. That cop issued what some are saying issues an all-time statement about his pants after the charges get dropped. And this is, I would just like to read this excerpt from the trial. Where is it? So this is his official summary that was released by the courts. P.S. Yes, the department has us buying freaking $80 pants. To those concerned, they were indeed ruined. But Scotty, it's all good. I would have never guessed I'd have the most famous pair of pants in the country for a few weeks because of this. Take care and be safe. Who's the piece of shit in this story, Pat? Is it Scotty Scheffler for ruining $80 pants? Is it the police department of Louisville for charging their police officers $80 to wear those gay-looking pants? Like, if you had to spend $80 on pants, you're not walking away with those khaki-looking motherfuckers. You're getting something cool. Is it the cop who was more concerned about his $80 pants than he was Scotty Scheffler's number one standing in the world at golf? Who's the piece of shit in this story, Pat?
I guess I needed to look here. Okay, I know they got arrested, but I don't know anything about pants. What's going on with pants?
So the cop who tried to arrest him, Scotty, just kept driving, and the cop grabbed onto the window. And that's what he charged him assault for. Brian Gillis charged him assault because it destroyed his pants. It ruined his pants. That was assaulting an officer.
Because he got dragged and the pants got ruined? Or
you know when you're carrying a toddler and they just kind of go dead weight on you?
yeah.
He tried to do that with the driver's side window of Scotty's car. Like, he tried to just be like, no, you're not going anywhere. And then
he thought he was going to weigh down a car? Okay,
yeah,
he's an
yeah.
idiot.
And then was drug. But it's like, are you being drug if you can just let go? You're not Patroclus, right? Hector doesn't have you tied to the back of his chariot. He's driving you around Troy.
Yeah, of course he's not Patroclus, Bobby. I say that to people. If I had a nickel for every time I said, what do you think you are, Patroclus? And they're like, no, I don't think I'm that at all. I'm like, yeah, you think you're fucking Patroclus. What are you, Patroclus? I don't know.
What are you, Patroclus?
Yeah, what are you, Patroclus? Petra, please. But the piece of shit is not the guy for being mad about his pants more than golf. Golf doesn't matter to that man. His pants do. Why does he give a fuck who's number? I don't know who's number one at cricket. I don't give a fuck. But if that guy who plays cricket he could be the Michael Jordan of cricket. If he ruined my pants, I'd be like, yeah, I'd still care more about my pants. If I had to pay $80 for pants or know who the number one guy in cricket is, I don't give a fuck. Fuck golf. Fuck Scheffler. It changes every week who's number one. Who gives a shit? It's all fucking just goofballs and pants. And if anyone knows about pants, it should have been the golfers because they wear silly ass pants. And they should have fucking respected the pants because they know they got the fucking checkered pants. They're all about stupid pants. They're like chef pants, but they're colorful. It's dumb. Pants, all of them have dumb pants. Police officers have dumb pants. They should all just be wearing jeans anyway. You know what I mean? What are we doing? Why do we got fancy pleats? Don't do that. $80, that's not expensive for pants if you have nice pants. There's a lot of people wearing $80 pants. But maybe, yeah, he shouldn't wear it as a cop. But whatever. He ruined his pants. But guess what else ruins your pants? When you shoot a black kid and the blood splatters on your pants. So they don't get mad about that one. I've never heard any of those guys go, I know I killed those 4 kids, but my pants are ruined. So it's not anyone talking about pants. It's anyone who fucking gets dragged by a car and then gets up and doesn't shoot the. You have a gun. You're a cop. That's assault. I don't care what you're saying. You drag the cop, shoot the golfer, kill golfers. There's too many. It's fine. It's like deer. You could just take a couple out. We'd be fine. They keep breeding. They keep making. I think all the racism in the world does come from golf clubs. You know what I mean? Not the golf club you hit with, the country clubs. That's the new clan spot. So you shoot a couple of those, you let them scared. But now the golfers feel like they're invincible, and all they're gonna do is now they're gonna drive drunk or whatever they're doing. They're gonna get the cops are gonna go, listen to me, like fuck you. Here's pants money, bitch, and then throw like fucking a big giant check with their name on it that says Happy Gilmore, and say you can just buy pants for this. Fuck off.
I think you're kind of onto something with that. I think V nailed it too. If you're paying $80 for pants, they shouldn't rip.
Well, if you're getting dragged by a car, you're getting dragged by a car. It's not a suit of armor.
I've been dragged by a car in my fucking American Eagle jeans and they didn't rip.
Why were you dragged by a car?
I was drunk, pissing, and then the car ran over me. It was my own car.
The car ran over you?
Yeah, not like hard, but I was in my driveway and was like, I'm not going to make it inside. Let me pee. And then didn't put it in park all the way. This was when I was like 19.
Fucking Terry.
Home run, Terry.
He cut out the middleman. Good job, Terry. If you know, for those who don't know, I'll leave it there for a second. You can Google who that guy is and go, oh boy, Terry, who's the piece
I
of
liked
shit?
it. I like it, Terry. But for me, the piece of shit in this story, Pat, because I think you're onto something with golfers and it being too easy. Let's combine the rich's favorite activities. So what we do before every golf tournament, right? We set up one of those climate protests outside of the golf course, and then they get to take whatever, Dodge Ram, Ford F-150, Toyota Tundra, and try to make it through the mob to the golf course. Like that's the first hole, is getting to the first hole.
The first hole.
It's
like the California story.
No, not like the California story at all.
First
In fact, we take all those people from California and you lose 1 stroke for each one you run over on your way to the tournament.
Yeah, they're saving money there because they don't have kids wearing any pants.
Certainly not $80 ones.
Nope. No pay. You could pay $80 to take off their pants.
Not allowed. No, I don't like it.
36 0.
You want to?
All right.
You want to do plugs quick?
Yeah, you go ahead. Do plugs first. While I pull up the next story.
Oh, I will be with Pat Oates at comedycraftbeer.com. You can get your tickets to see me and Pat June 28th and 29th in, you ready for this, Pat? Weathersfield. I nailed it. Did
What's
I have to think 9th? Comedycraftbeer.com.
Yeah.
I definitely read that as I was promoting it earlier. That's the only reason I knew it, because I saw the banner. But if you're like, man, it's a little early, or it's a little late to make plans for the end of June right now. I need a little more time. Well, boy, do I have a treat for you. August 8th and 9th at the Mohegan Sun. You can see the famous Pat Oates record what some are calling his consummate comedy album and special.
What's consummate mean?
I don't know. It just seemed like it fit. I know they were consummating things in California and it led to some real problems.
You can't consummate. How about that one?
I think that's what that means. I'm pretty sure when you consummate a marriage, it's consummating her.
Oh, yeah, you just bang. That's what it is. Yeah,
but,
I'm excited about the album. I was working on new shit last night. And the way I do is I usually have all my shit all coming together, and I think like, oh, I don't have to do anything else. And then my brain goes, hey, remember this story that you always liked in your life, but you've never thought about telling? Well, you've got maybe 2 months the most. Now start doing that and make yourself nuts. Like, all right, so I started doing that last night.
I love that. It did lead to your best, to the best title I've heard for a comedy album. The last time around,
But that story was already set. The story that I did that with last time was my David Hasselhoff fucking story. that was the one I wasn't gonna tell. And then in that second, I'm like, I want to do this, and I had everything else done. So I'm like, fuck, I'll just work on this and it did work out. People love the story too, but it was that wasn't partially part of the plan.
What I was thinking of was, remember the opening line you came up with
Yeah,
for your album? That's what I was thinking of. Like, you kind of put it together and it led to that. But you're right, absolutely right. Any other place you want to see us? Check out the Patreon, and I will be with Berg and Emaw. I believe the 20th.
Emaw,
I'll
where's
be right
that?
back. Pennsylvania, the Emaw Theater,
cool.
EMMAU. It's spelled like Emos.
Right. No, not everyone knows Pennsylvania stuff, so I was just making sure. You can walk away. I'm just talking to the people. But want to say hi to Terry and V and everybody that's fun in here. Teresa is all hanging out. Kish, all those people. Thank you guys so much. If you guys haven't checked out all this week's episodes, we did a Monday and Wednesday show here on YouTube. You go back to our playlist of previous mornings, you can see that. We did a really fun Thursday Thoughts yesterday. We talked about when De Niro was yelling about Trump, and then Trump going back and forth with him before everything happened with Trump yesterday. We did our Thursday Thought was about, instead of De Niro, who should the Democrats choose to yell at Trump? And could they choose anyone that could battle with Trump verbally? And we had a lot of fun with it. We went down a scenario we really liked. You gotta check it out. Where Bobby and I it was a lot of fun, and we were making fun of the scenario and acting it out kind of. But Joe Rogan versus Donald Trump. Go watch it. It's on the Patreon. It's up there. The Thursday Thoughts of this week. It's only $3 a month if you're gonna check it out. Bunch of content on there as well. If you want to go watch more backstories and that stuff, we have a lot of content on there that's not on the YouTube as well. While you're here, please subscribe and like and all that kind of fun stuff. And if you can share it, that'd be great too. We appreciate all you guys let people know about our show, and we're having a good time with that. If you want to go look at last Friday's show, the one we put up about Shane Gillis on the front thumbnail, I did that to get people to click, and it worked, and we got tons of views, but a lot of people were real fucking pissed. If you want to see people say a lot of mean shit about these podcasts, it's fucking hilarious. Go read those comments. Someone said I talk in cursive, which they're not wrong, but fuck you. Anyway, coming up next week, I've got I'm at Comics Mohegan Sun on Thursday at 10 p.m. of next week. On Friday, I'm at Riverwalk. Twisted Vine in Derby. And then I don't think I have anything on that Saturday. Oh, and also today, I'm on 95.9 The Fox in Connecticut. You can also, if you like 90s and 2000s alternative music with some newer stuff, want to hear me babble and shit, you can hear me there. They also go to their website, 959thefox.com. You can stream it live there. You can download the app, 95.9 The Fox. Then you can listen to it there. And then all next week from 2 to 7, I'll be on 95.9 The Fox as well. So make sure you go check that out and listen to me. I talk way less. So if you're like, hey, he talks too much on this, I talk way less over there. But I still say dumb shit, and I have a good time. Appreciate all you guys supporting all those things that we do. And we really do appreciate that. And I really hope a lot of you who live somewhat in the Connecticut area can come out to see me and Bobby 28th, 29th in Wethersfield. If you can't, though, the big show, the one you got to come see, the one you got to fucking check out is when I'm recording my album, August 8th through 10th. The link will be up very soon, I was told. And that will be recording that one show Thursday, one show Friday, 2 shows Saturday. And then you get to hang out with us at Mohegan Sun afterwards, too. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really happy with the material I've done. I recorded last year's a little over a year ago. So in about 14 months' time, I've written a new hour, and I'm really happy with that. This will be my 4th album, but I really like the material I'm doing. So make sure you come check that out. And back, by popular demand, Bobby Tamaro.
I'm back. Yeah, that was a big dump.
Wow. Yeah, you used to do that every day, right?
Dump? Oh, the big dump? Yeah.
The dump. Hey, look at me doing stuff. Is that Compound Media still a thing?
As far as I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen. I don't hear from anybody anymore.
Hope Anthony's doing well.
I'm sure he's fine. He's in a place where he's allowed to say his favorite word.
California.
All right, so are you familiar with Jason Kelsey?
Travis's brother.
Yes, but also a podcaster,
he's married to that soccer
player,
star, right? He's married to that woman's soccer star.
Was
Kylie
she a
Kelsey's
soccer star?
husband. I'm making a joke. Yeah. Because the Kelsey brothers pretend like they care about her professional women's soccer team.
Okay. because this article is actually about her, but they don't mention anything about soccer. A heated photo seeker who screamed at Kylie and Jason Kelce breaks the silence on her viral tirade with couple. This happened in New Jersey. The Pennsylvania woman seen in a roadside face-to-face shouting match with former NFL star Jason Kelce's wife, Kylie, after being denied a photo with the couple over Memorial Day weekend, apologized Thursday for the heated confrontation. So basically, this lady was walking around looking for people to take pictures of. She's some kind of YouTuber or something like that. And she saw that I want to get this off the fucking thing. She saw in a car chilling out Jason Kelce and his wife, and decided I'm going to go over there and bother them and ask them for pictures. In a heated moment, I said things that were out of my character and for me, and I regret that, and for that I am sorry. Andre Goldberg said. She has two E's in her name, like Andre, I don't know. Stated. The viral moment happened when the couple on a low-key date were idling in their car waiting for a spot to open at Steve and Cookies Restaurant and Oyster Bar in Margate City, New Jersey. I'd be pissed if I went to a place that had cookies in it and then it was at oysters. I'd be like, no, don't call it cookies then. I remember her name. She has a real name. Don't call it Steve and Cookies and then have oysters in the name. I want cookies if I go to cookies. But anyway.
When
Goldberg wanted a photo with the retired Philadelphia Eagles center. What? Sorry, what?
How would you make oyster-flavored cookies?
You don't. You have oysters.
Any cookie you make is going to taste like oyster now, Pat.
No, I don't want the oysters there. Is what I'm fucking saying, Bobby. It should be a cookie joint. Is what I'm saying.
I'm agreeing with you. If you make cookies at this oyster joint, they're going to taste like oyster, even if the cookies don't have oyster in them. Then they're liars.
No, the bitch's name is Cookies. Her name is Cookies.
Stop fucking lying, bitch. You don't cook shit. You boil oysters.
They'd be like, we don't have Steves here either. What the fuck? You want Steves?
That's not a term. I can't eat Steve. I mean, I could, but I'd probably go to prison unless I live in California.
No, young Steves love it. The viral moment happened when the retired center was there. They keep pushing that. Goldberg approached the couple's truck in hopes of getting a photo with the retired Philadelphia Eagles center and pounded on the vehicle to get their attention, which is nuts. Jason Kelce's a big boy. I know it's a woman. So she's like, oh, I can't hit me. But still, what happened to being afraid of monsters? You know, it's weird. The Kelce's politely denied a photo with Goldberg's family, but Goldberg soon became irate and attempted to tear into the couple. You'll never be allowed in this town again, Goldberg can be heard saying in the video posted by Philly-based podcast Word to the Wise. A man in a blue shirt stepped between the obnoxious fan and Kylie as Jason stood to the side. There's a picture of Jason just chilling in the corner, like just watching as his wife battles this person. I understand that he's in the public eye and all that stuff, but stand beside your wife. You know what I mean? She's getting yelled. She didn't do anything wrong. Stand over there.
Is there a picture of this?
There's whole video
just standing to the side because I feel like he's just gonna let her do her thing. He knows she's an athlete. She's Kelce. She's got that.
Yeah, but she's not going to do anything because they're in the public eye, and this other bitch wants that. You know what I mean? So it's like
that's true. I didn't think about that either.
I can smell the alcohol on your breath. You're embarrassing yourself, Kylie appeared to say before the video cut off. Goldberg claims she apologized to the Kelce family directly on Saturday. I want to publicly apologize to them and our community. My anger and my actions are not who I am, and certainly not indicative of the welcoming community of Margate, the woman said. Goldberg, who runs Tusher Chocolates, a luxury Swiss chocolate shop in Wayne, Pennsylvania, with her husband Brian, says the Kelces have been gracious to her following the parking lot incident. As an adult and proud member of my community, I should have recognized and respected their right to privacy from the onset, Goldberg said in a statement. I am deeply appreciative of the grace and understanding shown to me by the Kelces and wish them nothing but the best. Dude, obviously the Kelce's lawyer hit her up and said, you make a public fucking statement right the fuck now, or we own your chocolate factory, Willy Wonka. Because this is fucking crazy. I mean, I know she went nuts and she's wrong, but the way she's apologizing, the way she's apologizing to the community, the way she's like saying this is not who I am, it's like someone going to court and trying to not get the sentence. You know what I mean? It's crazy what she's saying. Like, definitely she was told, fucking say the words or fucking go to jail.
This is your official statement to make. Not just you need to apologize. This is the apology you will read.
After the video went viral, Margate City Mayor Michael Collins issued an apology to the Kelceys on behalf of his city and offered to buy the couple dinner, which I think is weird because it's like they don't really need his money, but and also who wants to eat dinner in your shitty town? As a father with young children,
Fucking
I know as
oyster
well as
cookies.
anyone the importance of a date night with your wife and would like. I know he means like with in general wives, but it's kind of crazy the way that was quoted. I know how great it is to go on a date with your wife. It's like,
With your
what the
wife,
fuck?
yeah.
Mayor Collins dated my wife? Fuck you, Mayor Collins. As a father with young children, I know as well as that importance date night and would like to offer a redo date night with dinner on me, Collins said. Since the incident, Kylie has gotten support from one of Jason's former teammates. Barking up the wrong tree, lady, lol. Chris Long, a former defensive end and son of NFL Hall of Famer Howie Long, wrote on Tuesday. Long and Kelce played together on the Eagles and won the Super Bowl together. And it just goes into, for no reason, talking about Chris Long. The Kelceys, sorry, the article, the Kelceys have not publicly addressed the incident, but it could be fodder for the former, NFL stars' next podcast, the New Heights podcast, that they think he'll talk about it on there. Who's the piece of shit in the story? Is it this woman who was like fired up, wanted a picture? The Kelceys are very big in the public eye. I mean, if you're not following the football or his podcast or things of that nature, you may not know who they are, but you know the last name because of his brother, because of Taylor Swift, of all these things. The two brothers, all they do is try to make sure they're known. They've worked name me another center that people could name, like women could name in the NFL. It's like wild what he's done. One thing for Travis, I mean, he does play a position with glory. A center doesn't get any glory, and he gets all this and builds this up. They've done a lot with the podcasting, with commercials, with all this stuff to get attention. And all they talk about how they're approachable and this and that, whatever. This woman is a nut job, don't get me wrong. And she's a piece of shit for smashing on cars and things. But they're all about being on every Instagram, TikTok in the world. This lady's just like, might have a couple of drinks over, like, fuck it. The Kelceys are down. Get out. Take a picture with the Goldbergs. What, you don't like Jews? Get the fuck out of here. Let's go. Is it them? Is it the couple for just not... I get it. If you do it for one, you got to do it for everybody. This woman obviously is disturbed or something's going on. It takes the fact that she knows who you two are means that she in some way is a fan, or she might just be a hunter of pictures. Who knows? Fucking roll down the window, go, hey, we're kind of chilling in the car. Can you guys just stand alongside the car? We'll stick our heads out. Is that cool? Just a quick one. And if she says no to that, I want more, then you go, hey, sorry, whatever. Maybe another time. We're going to go eat. Maybe run to you later on. You don't get out of the car and start fighting. Now, I know what you were saying, the joke about the wife and being an athlete and all that kind of stuff. But for her to start going, well, you're drunk, I can smell on your breath. Okay, now you've gone to her level. So is she the piece of shit? Because now it says like allegedly, because the video is kind of hard to hear, but you don't need to take that shot. You don't need to go, you're an alcoholic, you're embarrassing yourself, all that shit like that. The lady, like, you're not allowed in our town. She's not mayor of town. Is it the mayor for going, hey guys, my bad for our town stinking. You want to come back? No, we don't want to come back. Buy us dinner somewhere else, asshole. We don't want dinner from your stupid town. And why are you dating my wife? Or is it Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift? Because you know what they would have done? Taken the fucking picture. And they're way more famous. And they would have got out. And they also wouldn't have gone to Stephen Cookie's fucking House of Oysters. They would have gone somewhere fucking better. Who's the piece of shit?
So I didn't take Kylie's comment kind of the way you did as instigating. Like, I took it almost as like a mom, like, come on, you're embarrassing yourself. I can smell you're drunk. Like,
they said
relax.
She screamed it. That's the only reason why I said that.
No. So, but when you put it like that, it changes things for me a little bit. Because I was gonna say it was just this woman, but it is a little bit of both, right? Like, neither of us are at a level where we can't go get food without somebody recognizing us. But if that were to happen, I like to think I'd take those pictures.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the trade you make. Like, in order to have that level of fame and fortune, you gotta be willing. Like, if anybody came to me and was like, I recognize you for what you dedicated your life to, will you take a picture for me? I'd go, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, Jason Kelce has put his entire life into football. That's why they know who he is. Take the picture. I get you're on a date with your wife, and it's probably annoying, but that's the tax of fame. And now, will somebody clip this if I ever get famous and flip out on somebody who wants a picture? Absolutely. But at this point in time, that's where I stand.
The one part that I need more explanation on is what they were doing in the car. Because it said they're having a private they're on a date. a low key date night. They're having a private moment in the car. So they weren't just parking to go eat at the restaurant. Were they hooking up? Were they fooling around? Because if that's the case, you've got hotel money. What are you doing, Jason Kelce and the wife, banging in the car? I get it, you want to feel young again, but guess what comes with being banging in a car? Guess what comes with being young again? Somebody, you're lucky it wasn't the cops, banging on the car going, what are we doing? You're fucking in a car. No hand jobs in the car. Go inside Stephen Cookies and have an oyster, or maybe don't have an oyster because you're already fucking horny. What are you doing in the fucking car? Now, if they mean private moment, they were just sitting there talking and laughing, whatever. I mean, I guess that's their right, but get the fuck out of the car. You both know your fam. To sit in the car in an open parking lot during the day in a place where there's a lot of people walking around and like boardwalk and all that shit makes me feel like you're almost looking for someone to see you. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, I wonder. They're the two people who are like, oh, when someone just smiles, they go, they must know who we are. Like, and they might not. They might just be smiling at a couple, but it feels like they want to be. They want to be Taylor and Travis. They want to be ultimately recognized. Like, that wouldn't have happened there. They would have been helicoptered into somewhere, and then like security guards would have brought them in. They don't get that shit. They're just eating dinner at a shit place in New Jersey, and then hoping the mayor gives them a free one so they can go back. So like, as much as the lady is wrong and it's an invasion of privacy and all that shit, get the fuck out of your car. Go about your day. Then if you're walking around quickly, you can be like, hey, we're gonna go eat right now. If we come out later and you're still around, maybe we'll take a pic. But if you're just sitting in the car, like, you're not doing shit. You're just sitting in your fucking car. What the fuck? Take a picture with me. I run a chocolate shop.
Yeah. At the same time, if you're the chocolate shop lady and you're such a fan, you would know that they have kids and be like, why don't you bring your kids to the chocolate tour? Here's my card. Like, I own this nice fact. You know what I mean? Like, you could have, if she had played it better, it could have been better too.
They don't want a tour of her stupid chocolate place.
No, but at least if you come up and you're like off, it's a different interaction that way. Like, then you getting angry and threatening to never let them in a town you don't even live in.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want a picture with them? I mean, unless you're gonna sell it, what does that do? I mean, I get it. You put on your Instagram, you might get some views and like, but that's not. You're a chocolatier. I'm not gonna now look at your chocolate shop's Instagram and go, oh, Travis Kelce's brother was there. I better buy chocolate. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if the center for the Eagles ate chocolate at your stupid place. Why are you hunting that down? Get your own life. You're drunk. You sound like a good fucking time, kind of a crazy bitch. Go to a bar. Get banged. Go hang out with fucking the mayor. The mayor will buy you dinner, and then you two could have a good time. And you could run everything. The mayor and the chocolatier fucking in cahoots. That's a good time.
That's a tough team to beat.
That's one of the most popular New Jersey. That's as big as like Sambora and Bon Jovi. That's a big New Jersey team.
Well, I don't know who Sambora is, but Bon Jovi's big enough.
Richie Sambora? Richie Sambora is the guitarist for Bon Jovi. It's like,
oh, I didn't.
Yeah, he's the other. He's like, the what you call it, the Keith Richards to his Mick Jagger.
Oh, okay. I'm a bigger fan of his then. What was his name? Richie Samborini?
Richie Sambora. Dude, if you look up the women that Richie Sambora banged in the 80s, you'll be a huger fan. Heather Locklear, all that was his wife. Like, all the hot ladies at the time. Sambora was the shit.
Well, we learned other rock stars like to do different things. California based today, so bigger fan. That everybody you said was older.
Yes. I've got one more story if you do not.
I do have one. Do you want to do yours first, or do you want me to do mine?
No, you can do yours.
I think you might like this story, Pat. Did you ever learn about racism in school?
No.
No? There's a famous experiment.
I'm not even joking. Like, seriously? I don't know. I don't remember racism. They taught us slavery, but they didn't teach us about racism. No one ever sat down and said, hey, don't hate people. Not in school. Like, G.I. Joe taught me that, I think, in the A-Team. That's about it.
Well, I mean, you did live in Connecticut.
In the 80s, but no one said anything. I don't think
they kind of already. No, because like I know my mom went through this experiment. Like, and I went through something similar. Yeah, so the teacher will be like, all right, anybody because typically this gets done at an all-white school. Like, anybody with blue eyes is the favored, and anybody with brown eyes is bad. And so for the whole morning, the blue eyes treat the brown eyes like shit. And then after lunch, it switches and they go, oh, no, I got that backwards. The brown eyes are actually the good ones and the blue eyes are the bad ones. And then the racism gets flipped and then they explain that's racism.
Yeah, but what do they learn? Because you just learned that don't worry, you're going to get your chance to hate back.
And that was kind of the message. Like, if you hate begets more hate. If anybody at point along the way realized how stupid it was to classify people by eye color, then you would realize, like, that's what they're trying to teach the kids.
Oh, all I would learn is that we can hate each other for a day until your teacher says cut it out.
I mean, that's because you grew up in Connecticut. We've already been over this.
I don't know
real
what that
country,
supposedly means.
Like California,
First of all, you live in Pennsylvania, which is Connecticut. It's the same shit.
I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. All right, we were shooting black people on balconies. That's where our racism was. No, I had a teacher who was like, "There's still a club that they don't let me in because I'm black in Memphis." So I got my taste of it too.
But there's plenty of racism in Connecticut, my friend. Believe me.
I know.
We have some of the worst cities in the world.
Well, speaking of places with terribly racist cities, Virginia is where this story takes place.
Nice. Virginia
mom says students told her Asian American son to sit at, quote, segregated, unquote, table. An after-school game took a troubling turn last week at Lyles Crouch. See, why were they even... That's not a good name, Lyles Crouch. It's too
better than Lyles Crotch.
It's too close. These kids.
I'd rather him crouch than crotch. Yeah, I'd rather crouch than crotch. Crotch.
Yeah, exactly. So at Lyles Crotch Traditional Academy in Alexandria, Virginia, Catherine Kelly, the mother, alleges a group of white students told her 5th grade son, who is half Asian, that he couldn't sit with them. They were saying that mixed race kids had to sit at a table that was away from white kids, and then African American and black kids had to sit even further, Kelly told NBC Washington. They said that they were segregated and that they couldn't play with the white kids. Kelly claims some students also teased the students of color based on race in class. It was, of course, very difficult. It was confusing. He was trying to understand what was going on while also trying to stand up for his friends and trying to interrupt the situation, but not really knowing what to do. NBC Washington obtained a letter the principal sent to parents Friday acknowledging an inappropriate game as part of a role play of social studies lesson, which caused some students to feel uncomfortable. The letter said students often want to discuss troubling topics from class in a variety of ways, some of which may cause offense. This is certainly a challenge in educating our students and one that we must be keenly aware of when difficult topics are presented. Kelly feels there are steps that should have been taken. When kids are learning these things, like about segregation, learning about the history of white supremacy in the United States, they have to learn that. They need to learn that, but it's not a game. They need to learn the seriousness of these things. In the letter to the families, the school's principal said she plans to work with her team to incorporate lessons into the curriculum about thinking before you speak and act. The principal also said the school community has a collective responsibility to make sure all students feel valued and respected. Greg Carr, an Afro-American studies professor at Howard, said, I think we do it perhaps starting with what children know. Carr said lessons on inclusions can be simple, such as asking kids how they feel when they see TV characters who look like them. He also said guest speakers can be helpful. So, Pat, who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it the state of Virginia for trying to teach segregation and racism by implementing segregation and racism? Like, the thing about the eyes was it was a step removed from what actually went down. Is it the kids who heard this lesson and were like, let's just put it out there. Let's enforce this. That sounded better than what we're dealing with now. And then set up their own little own little color wheel in the cafeteria. Is it the mom who says that there's this strong history of white supremacy in America? There weren't any white people here for a long time. Just throwing that out there. Like, if you look at all of history, for the vast majority of it, not white people in the United States. 1619, that's when we showed up. So for those first 1600 years, there was no white supremacy here. It's kind of hard to claim that. Is it Virginia? Maybe you guys should be pretty aware of the racism issue. Like, maybe you should know of anywhere in the United States how to handle it the best. Or is it the mom? Shut the fuck up. Your kid got bullied at school. Give him some throwing stars and tell him to fight back. Pat, we'll kick it to you.
It's not the lady for saying the white supremacist thing, because Yes, you're saying 1600 years before that, but there wasn't good documented history. So just in the documented history, the good note
Okay.
taken, she only go with that. So in the good note taken, white supremacy. So on that one, she's got you beat on a technicality, but that's about it. So that doesn't make her. That makes her a dumb arguer and stupid, but she's not a piece of shit. You know what I mean? She's just a dopey lady.
And it
It's
does illustrate that one group's better at keeping history than others. Just throwing that out there.
way better at writing shit down.
Best writers.
I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe that there was better notes, but I don't read cartoons on a wall, so I don't fucking know if there was good history there. You know, so
The one
Chief
note we
running-
have really from pre 1619 is like some white dudes showed up. They fought really hard. Stay away from them. Like it's literally the Vikings, and they're like, these dudes are the shit.
Chief Separation River, whatever. He wasn't good at keeping notes, but
Cheap, separate but equal.
the piece of shit is the person that invented the blue eye, brown eye shit you were talking about before. Because what Bobby, you said was, why would you take it to a higher level? Why they had to take it to a higher level, Bobby? Why they had to do let's play segregation? Is because the brown eye, blue eye game has kept racism going. People, I think what happens is there were some people who played that game and said, the only thing they remembered from school was, remember that day we got to hate people because of the color of their eyes? Fucking, that was my favorite day in school. I fucking loved that day so much. Like, wait, there was a lesson. Yeah. Can hate people because of the color. I like, no. How about the second part? Yeah, that was the lame part of the game. I didn't pay. I checked out then. I didn't give a shit about that. And believe me, as a brown eye, I knew that I was gonna fucking come back because we don't care. We're stronger than them anyway. We'll group together and we'll dominate again. All right, man. No. So then, of course, because of that mentality, they're like, this hasn't worked. Let's just put the half Chinese in a table by themselves. They should anyway because they use different silverware. It's just messy for the cafeteria people. So you might as well do that anyway.
That's a. I do like the idea of the brown eyes being like, no, our day's fucking coming.
It's coming
All right.
soon. It's fucking.
Where
The
did
Brown
all the
Panthers.
brown eyes go? At lunch, they said something about an underground railroad. They're over at Posh Elementary. It's like, what?
Where did
V-
all the brown eyes go? Your time's coming.
V nailed what I was about to say. The piece of shit in this story is the state of Virginia. Literally, all they've done is create separate but equal situations. You know, they've got non-white zones. They've got blacks only water fountains, blacks only libraries. Like it's really gotten to the point where they are the ones promoting separate but equal just from the other side of the ball. And now when it gets put into a game and kids act like what you've taught them, right? Like if you're taught that this area is only for people of color, like we've seen at a number of universities, and then go, hey kids, this group's better than this one, they're going to make the natural leap. Like you nailed it. It's the school keeping racism alive, just in a much lesser way. I don't know, and much less apparent way. Like it's not as simple as, oh, blacks and whites. Just like no, this is. They don't say the excluding part out loud.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm supposed to add on to that. I thought you were, once again, I always think you're going to thought when you pause, you're going to say something else. And I'm like, oh, okay, he's done.
Nah, I brought my point together. Like it's the state of Virginia. They've done everything they could to institute segregation. Then it happens at a school. It plays out the way that it would, and then they're not. They're
Well,
surprised.
Virginia is also known for sometimes in schools and colleges, they handle things a different way.
Yeah, I'd make the Asian kid sit by himself too.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's going to be in a tower somewhere taking shots. So,
Yeah, when his exams don't go well.
So I'm happy
In a
that all
way-
you people. Well, go ahead.
Terry's right. Thank you, Obama.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Obama. Thank you to everyone. I don't think we mean to be this segregated in our chat. Thank you to all the white people in our chat. We appreciate you for being there. Thanks for watching the show. Please like and subscribe and all that stuff like that. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back on Monday. If you missed anything, go back on our YouTube playlist and go check that out. If you haven't joined the Patreon yet, Bobby, I told them before about the Thursday Thoughts, and that was a fun show. Go check that one out from yesterday. And the Tuesday podcast we did as well, the morning one that you might have missed if you're not on the Patreon. Go check all those things, $3 a month. You get a lot of stuff. Like, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. And Bobby.
This episode's kind of like a senator in California. It's done. We're so done with this.
Oh.
It's
Yep,
so
we
done.
voted 36 and none.